how safe are we today on this 20-year mark versus on September 10th, 2001?
We're in much graver danger, Megyn, and much more danger now, because we now have the Taliban. Remember, the Taliban is a terrorist organization. The Taliban sheltered Al Qaeda. They protected Osama bin Laden. They provided a training camp for all of the 19 hijackers who attacked the cockpits that day. They were all trained in Al Farouk. That was in Afghanistan. They were taught to kill the pilots they used short knives, and they practiced on sheep and camel. And that was all provided to them and made safe for them by the Taliban. I actually, when the whole issue of this war paradigm versus legal paradigm was being argued, and I was arguing for the war paradigm, for prosecuting these people in war crimes, not in federal courts like bank robbers. I wanted to know who these people are, because what they call themselves the Gitmo Bar, the pro bono lawyers from some of the biggest white shoe firms in all of America, were defending them and saying, well, these are just goat herders and innocent people who got caught up in the fog of war. No, I read their combat status reviews. I read a lot of them. These are committed jihadists. They came from all over the Arab world, all over the Muslim world, because to die in defense of the fifth pillar of Islam, which is the defense of religion, spreading the ummah, is to die as a shaheed, a holy warrior. It is the highest thing you can happen to you can do in life. And so, yes, some of them came from Kuwait, from Saudi Arabia, from in little countries I'd never heard of, and some of them were educated, but they were in Kosovo. Some of them are veterans of Kosovo. So this isn't like they have a grievance and they're there to settle this grievance and then go home. This is endless. This is endless war for them. And so, in 2012, Obama stood in front of us at the Pentagon on the anniversary, and he did a brag that Osama bin Laden will never hurt us again, because about it had happened the year before. And then he said the Al Qaeda is on the run. And then he said, and this is very important to hear today, this is 2012. In 2014, the war will be over. Well, the enemy gets a say in that. And wars aren't over when they're declared over. There's either a defeat, an uncontroversial, undeniable defeat, or there's a surrender. That's it. And we weren't going to have that. So, and it's important to note that 5 hours or 5.5 hours after he said those words at the Pentagon, our embassy in Cairo was attacked. The American flag was taken down from this giant embassy. The black flag of ISIS was hoisted up. It stayed there for 3 days because Morsi, the president of Egypt, had been installed in the Arab Spring, a Muslim Brotherhood member. And that night, Benghazi, we lost Chris, the ambassador.
Chris Stevens.
Yes, and 3 Americans. That's their answer to these declarations by American presidents who don't know who these people really are. They think it's not just a fight over territory; it's a fight for them, for their divinely inspired mission.
Well, to me, it's crazy when you listen to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs say, yeah, we're likely to see attacks on America between 12 and 13 months from now, launched from Al Qaeda in Afghanistan. Okay, we fought a whole war to try to stop that from happening again. Our Secretary of Defense saying the same thing and saying, oh, don't worry, because we're going to keep eyes on them from other countries in the region. We're going to be able to sort of keep eyes on them. Really? How is that going to be?
Megyn, I'd like him to enumerate which other countries in the region he's talking about, because Pakistan has always been a double dealer. That's where bin Laden was all those years, and they were protecting him. They're a nuclear power, okay? And I don't think we're going to have a base set up side by side with our Taliban neighbors. That's what the leader of the Taliban was all these years, a newly installed leader, when he was brought back, with celebration. So where else are we going to go? They already have outreach, the Taliban, to China and Russia, opening the bidding for resources in Afghanistan. And they're going to get a lot of money. And you have this administration now already talking. I'm telling you, it's really hard to take it all in. They're talking about all the humanitarian aid they plan to give the new emirate of Afghanistan, Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, to help the poor people who are being brutalized and starved by this new government that we helped install. Our former enemies, I say our current enemies, we're now going to go and mitigate the crap they do to these poor Afghan people by sending them aid, which will never, of course, get to them. Right, and it will be millions, if not billions of dollars. I just think this is crazy town. And yes, we're more in danger because we don't have the territory. We don't have the eyes from the sky because, they say over the horizon. Well, one of these security experts who does the geospatial stuff said, no, it's really more over the horizon,